Hello, everyone. My name is Dakota Stona, and I am here with an episode for the fourth project. For Project 4. I'm just going over more Unity things. So the first thing we're going to be going over is the use of editor scripting. I'm haven't done a lot with it. Still not completely familiar, but I have figured out a little bit. Next is use of attributes and property jars, being able to um, make things, do things in your inspector window and all of that, different types of things. Use of bit masking, and then also use of scriptable objects. So, let's go ahead and pull that to the side. Not show that off. Okay, so first thing first is going to be going with editor scripts. So, I don't really have too much here as of right now, but what I have been working on, what I did do for now, just to kind of show off a basic idea of it, is you first off you use Unity Editor, Unity Editor namespace, and then um, there are a couple different things you can do. The what I have done for this though is making a menu item. So I call on menu item and then name it UAT for the folder, and then the button, I guess you could say function, what it would be called. So right now the only thing that's going to be doing is debugging hello world. So when we go to there, up at the top around here, UAT, when you click on it, you will then see the second name, hello world. So let's go to there. When you click on hello world, it'll debug hello world, and anytime you do it. Alright, so secondly, next thing we're going to be working on is attribute/property jars. So first thing that we have is using is just a public class enum flag attribute, which uses the property attribute. And then secondly, after that is we're going to go to make an enum flag jar. So this has a you call custom property jar type of enum flag attribute to call this other script. So in here we have a couple of different things. It probably take a while, but when you we call on GUI. So on GUI is used to actually affect the inspector and all of that, and we have what we're doing right here is making enum buttons. So let's go to Alright, so here, let's go and make it a little bit wider. We have a couple different, for the enum we have blunt slashing and then buttons instead of a drop down like this down here. So I'm not gonna try to go through all this. A lot of different things going on here, but once you have the math and everything put together, how everything is going to work, when you call on it, you go to weapon and your enum. You call the attribute class and right above the enum, and it will then structure everything to how you set it up into the enum flag jar. So next is we're going to be going into bit masking. So it's kind of interesting. I don't think I have truly comprehended it completely. Probably a lot more different things you can do with it, but this also works well for enum flags, and it's setting it to like a binary. So the first one, when it equals 1, it draws, let's go and zoom in a little bit, it draws, if it's equal to 1, it will then be in the 1 position. So instead of having it like true or false, we can actually, not true or false. So calling on it, it'll be more like true or false, and make it a lot easier to remove stuff and add stuff. It's a lot more processor. So after that, we have slashing, it's one move over one space. So then there's a 0, and it moves over, you call it, and then it moves over one space, and then goes to the second space. And then 1 move over 2, moves over 2, and then there's 1. So on and so forth. There's a couple different things you can do with bit masking. Back there. So I tried to set this up to where it would work on key press. I couldn't figure that out. Don't know why. But so for now, I'm going to be running it through booleans for when we start. So the way that adding them works is you call on the enum damage type, and then I don't know what that's called, but the little up arrow equals damage type dot blunt, and we'll then add blunt. Same thing for that. Removing them, you call the enum, and then have an and equals, and then have the tilde damage type dot blunt or anything else, and that will remove them. So in code, let's go ahead. So let's make this one blunt, this one piercing, slashing, magic. So all of these, none of the enums are activated or anything, but each of them has different booleans equipped, selected to true. So let's go ahead and unmaximize that. So when you go around and you pick up the different weapons, one sec, let's go ahead and open up to where the weapon's going to be at. Okay. Okay, so now when the light sword is equipped, it now has the blunt attribute. Now has the blunt enum. Same thing with the spear. The spear will have the piercing, and it'll continue doing the same thing for whatever the boolean was. So next, one sec. Sorry about that. Same thing will work for if removing them. So let's say on the light sword we have all of them equipped, and then remove the slashing. So if we pick up the light sword, equip it, it then has the slashing removed. And this will work for everything. So if we want to have it equip all of them except blunt, it sets it all to true, then when it's picked up, all of them except blunt and poison are equipped. So that's what I know so far about bit masking. I'm sure that there's probably more to it. So yeah. Lastly is the scriptable objects. So scriptable objects are nice. So to create one, you make a class. Mine's called item, and instead of mono behavior, you call scriptable object. That won't just work though. So the way it is right now, I can hit create, go up to item, and click on it and make another scriptable object. Only issue with that is you can't just make the class and call scriptable object. You have to use create asset menu. So using create asset menu, that will create it, and the file name, so if you look into the files, will be called item. The menu name, when making one, is called item. So as I said before, go to create, shows up item. If I name this something different, item pickup, it will then change it to there we go. We'll then change it to item pickup. I don't think I need to go into too much detail for this. Don't really need to talk about everything that I've done for this right now because it's not really too important for the scriptable objects. But scriptable objects are really nice because you can decouple them and make multiple of one class without them being linked, and they're all the same except for the values and all of that. So, thank you for watching. Have a good day.